Watch as I dive in.
A Star is Born's hit song Shallow isn't just a catchy tune.
In the shallow.
It's the key to the message this movie is trying to send. The film asks what it takes to be a great artist, and its answer? You can't stay in the shallows. You have to go deep.
What I believe about singing in a film is that what you have to say is so deep and so powerful that it can't be said with just words. You have to break into song.
Bradley Cooper's directorial debut, starring Lady Gaga, is the fourth iteration of this classic Hollywood tale. You can watch the take's previous video on how it compares to the older versions on our YouTube channel. But this movie feels fresh because it achieves powerful intimacy and raw emotion as it peers inside the most private places within the artist's heart and mind.
How do you hear it?
A Star is Born reminds us that while it's easy to get cynical about the fame game and feed audiences what you think they want, good art has to be real. It has to be heartfelt, and it has to be scary for the artist who's revealing that intimate self. Only then can it really have anything to say.
If there's one reason we're supposed to be here is to say something so people want to hear it.
So here's our take on how A Star is Born uses stellar chemistry, cinematography, and of course music to show us what it feels like to jump in the deep end and become a star. Before we go on, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get notified about all our new videos. We might often wonder what it is that makes someone become a star, compared to all the other would-bes out there who, objectively, seem to be just as good singers, actors, or dancers.
She said that that's what star quality was, that little something extra. Well, you've got it.
The movie plays with this question through Allie's dad's obsession with Frank Sinatra.
But Frank, you come on stage with the blue eyes, the sharkskin suit, the patent leather shoes. He becomes Frank Sinatra. And everybody else, all these other guys that really got it, that really have it inside, just a bunch of nobodies.
According to this movie, what really makes someone star-worthy is having something to say, and the power to say it in the way only you can.
I bet you everybody in this bar is talented in one thing or another, but having something to say and a way to say it so people listen to it, that's a whole other bag.
If there's one thing that I hope people take from the movie is that they go, yeah, fine, what is it that you want to say? And how do I want to say it?
Most of us can relate to Allie at the beginning of the film. We resist that urge to go for it and sing our own song, even if we really want to. And sure, it would be nice if some handsome, famous person came along and immediately sensed just how special we are.
And unless you get out there and you try to do it, you'll never know.
But even though there's a wish fulfillment in the way Jack sets up her huge moment,
All you gotta do is trust me. That's all you gotta do.
she still has to make the choice to walk out onto that stage. In the concert scene, Allie does exactly what Shallow's lyrics say. She jumps off the deep end.
I'm off the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground.
This is especially scary for her because it's her first time performing her own song. Covering Edith Piaf was a lot safer and easier because she could hide behind someone else's persona. Watching the power of Allie letting go on stage makes us understand that this is what you have to do to be a great artist. Go beyond the shallow or superficial and tap into the most raw, real part of yourself. Allie's primal scream captures that joy of truly expressing yourself and transforming your pure feeling into something others can perceive and enjoy. Until this point, Allie hasn't believed in herself enough to go deep.
I don't sing my own songs.
Thank you. Why?
I just don't feel comfortable.
Our movie is a 31-year-old musician who hasn't made it. She's not an ingenue. And she sort of relegated herself to singing someone else's song in a drag bar.
You might say that the moment Allie really jumps in comes sooner than the stage performance, when she first sings to Jack in the parking lot.
Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore?
How many of us could be so brave to sing our own song, partially made up on the spot, to one of the world's most famous musicians?
The movie knows she's a star before she does it. And the movie's almost searching for her. And with this scene, when she stands up and starts singing, the camera's over her shoulder looking down at him.
Here, the camera angle emphasizes that Jack is already Ally's adoring fan as he gazes up at her.
There's all those lights behind her as if she's up on a huge stage at Coachella or something without even realizing it.
Later, as their relationship hits rough times, when Jack is upset over the direction Ally takes with her solo career, we feel for Ally.
You're embarrassing, and it's just, I feel
I'm
bad
embarrassing?
He acts out in overbearing, destructive ways, but at the same time, he's right that she's taking a shortcut and not doing her talent justice by imitating what's popular instead of doing the hard work of looking inward at what she really wants to say in her music. The movie makes us understand that if you're not terrified, if it's not a struggle, if you're not floored by your own emotion, then you're not digging deep enough. In the final scene, Ally has to call on a strength she didn't know she had.
I'd like to sing it for him tonight. And with your help, maybe I can.
In her time of the most unspeakable emotional pain, after losing the love of her life, she has to connect with that emotion as an artist, instead of pushing it away or getting buried underneath it.
Don't wanna give my heart away to another stranger.
As she performs I'll Never Love Again, this is her moment of truly becoming the star.
To me, the movie ends with the star being born because she's finally able to be herself and she's willing to look out to you, the viewer, and say, here I am.
She's finally willing to go as deep as she possibly can, and that's why she's just going to get better from this moment on.
Ally at the end of the movie is just starting. Right. What she's going to create is going to be even larger than what we've seen prior.
Meanwhile, Jack's career, and ultimately his life, ends because he could no longer face his innermost feelings.
Trying to hold it together. I'm Jack, I'm an alcoholic.
While his connection with Ally gives him one last rush of fertility as an artist, he's become disconnected from himself, thanks to decades of numbing himself through his addictions, tuning out painful emotions, and not dealing with his complex family issues.
All Dad ever did for you was make you his drinking buddy. And you'd be right there with me with still loving you know it.
The ringing in his ears symbolizes that. He's been slowly losing his ability to hear the music.
Tinnitus or tinnitus can't be fixed.
Right.
Intimacy is it's equal parts performance and proximity.
The movie Cinematography by Matthew Libatique is all about giving us a subjective experience. The camera and lighting put us in Ally's and Jackson's point of view. And even more impressively, they make us feel what the characters feel.
The hope is that you're feeling these things, but you're not quite sure why, but it's because I'm manipulating it through the choice of the shot.
This subjectivity is used to give us a deeper understanding of three things. 1. What it is to be a performer or a celebrity. 2. What it is to be in love. And 3. What it is to be in deep emotional pain. First, the camera puts us in the shoes of the performer. So in the concert scenes, we're right there on stage, not watching from the crowd. So often music films situate us in the audience below, looking up at musicians like distant godlike icons. Libatique said, quote, "The minute you get into the audience's perspective, it becomes about the stage show, and you lose a little bit of feeling for the character." In Jack's opening performance, the lights are almost blinding. The sound is overwhelming. And the handheld camera work creates a sense of frenzy, so we understand the intensity of this experience. But then we get to see what it's like after the performance too, when he's suddenly alone.
To me, it's sonic, and it's like this cacophony of noise where it's like, and then it's silence.
In the pivotal scene when Ally is deciding whether to join Jack on stage to sing Shallow, the camera stays with her as she summons up the courage. And as we walk out with her, we get a rush as if it's us there in front of all those people. This scene is exhilarating because it captures how terrifying, surreal, and fun it would be to perform your own song in front of such a crowd. Then when they're performing, the visuals make us feel the way that these two artists are so electric on stage because they see only each other. Editor Jay Cassidy said in this reverse two-shot, quote, "It is as if the whole surroundings have receded. The band, the audience, and they are alone together." As the song ends and they come back to Earth, all she can say is, In his lighting, Libatique used the color palette of cyan and red to connect us to the heightened beauty of Ali's and Jack's artistic connection, the beautiful creativity they access when they sing together. We see these colors when they're on stage together, as well as the first time Jack watches Ali perform, and after Jack's suicide. In the last scene, when Ali introduces herself as
Ali Main.
she's standing in a column of blue light, as if bathed in Jack's influence and love coming down from the heavens, while she looks up as if to him. Once Ali starts to become a solo pop star, the lighting veers into ultra-bright but more superficial feeling colors. Libatique said, quote, I wanted everything to build to a larger-than-life feeling, with vivid color. She's playing in front of tens of thousands of people, and I wanted it to be beautiful, like a drug. Nothing could be better, but then that drug starts to wear off. In this scene, Ali's elegant dress and the song itself suggest that she's neither returning to her folksy beginnings with Jack, nor sticking to her pop star persona. We're seeing a third, new style that represents her true creative personality. The lighting echoes this. We don't get the red and blue of her connection with Jack, nor the vivid candy pop star colors. Instead, the white light underscores that this is Ali at her most authentic and mature. Libatique said that after Ali's drug-like pop colors, the neutral pure light, quote, represents a kind of sobriety. The second thing the cinematography is doing is making us feel the couple's love story from the inside. During Ali's performance at the drag bar, the close-up where she looks right at Jack lets us see her as he does. We feel how that look strikes him like a lightning bolt. When they officially meet soon after, it's like the camera just wants to be close to Ali, mirroring Jack's urge to touch her and reveal her natural beauty.
Why are you covering your eye?
Oh, just because I don't have my eyebrow on anymore.
Oh, no. The whole point is I can see your face.
This first night together is played out almost in real time. We get to feel the way that meeting someone special changes our sense of time, how we remember each moment of those early interactions.
You kind of have a real-time experience with them.
Yeah.
It's one full night. In that, I thought, is really the opportunity to have a 20-minute sort of intro to them where we can really just take moments, because it's all about moments.
In the parking lot scene, the camera stays close on them, bringing us into the tenderness that's growing between them.
I want to change the subject.
Is that what I'm doing?
Nobody ever asked you about you, huh?
Even the breeze in this scene adds a sensory element, letting us feel the environment and not just see it. Finally, the third aspect of the cinematography's subjectivity is bringing us into the pain of Jack's personal struggles. If we were viewing him from a distance, it would be all too easy to dismiss him as just another indulgent, self-destructive celebrity.
Jackson, Maine.
I'm gonna wake up in a minute.
That's the thing about when you get famous, people start saying your full name.
What do you want?
Well, just Jack.
But the intimate camera makes us see him as just Jack, never Jackson, Maine. The sound helps with this. We hear Jack's tinnitus as he does, so we're brought into the physical experience of his pain. To outside observers, the scene where he drunkenly wets himself at the Grammys would be fodder for some harsh memes. But we're so involved in the lead up to and the aftermath of that moment that we just feel empathy and sadness for both Jack and Ali.
I'm fine.
Near the end of the movie, when Jack is reeling from his conversation with Rez,
Just by staying married to you, she looks like a joke. It's embarrassing.
the camera is right above him, on top of him, visualizing his feeling that he's trapped and can't escape the shame of his past mistakes.
I embarrassed you in that.
I'm not embarrassed of you.
It was so wrong.
Most painfully of all, we're present in the lead up to Jack's suicide, and the excruciating purposefulness in this scene heightens its tragedy as we watch the slow buildup. We know what's going to happen, but can't stop it. We look right into his face as he seems to mentally prepare. This realistic, personal moment is far from the distant, cinematic drowning scenes in the 1937 and 1954 A Star is Born movies, which feel removed from our reality, like something that only happens in a movie. So throughout the film, the camera, lighting, and sound help us live this story with the characters. We feel the euphoric highs, the unbearable lows, and the final breakthrough. One of the most rewarding parts of A Star is Born is, of course, the music. But these are not just song breaks. They're acting moments, woven into the fabric of the story and revealing the character's development in a way that the spoken word alone couldn't.
It's not like the movie takes a break and then all of a sudden there's a song. It actually has everything to do with what's going on. It is a scene. My favorite scene of Lady Gaga's, actually, acting-wise, is the final song, because we watch this character go through the grieving process through the song.
From the beginning, music is the bridge between Ally and Jack. They fall in love through each other's singing. He's captivated by her performance in the drag bar, and she's intrigued by seeing him sing.
She hears him sing this song in this drag club and is completely moved and inspired in a way that surprises her.
Music allows each to see deeply into the other person's heart. So this is why they can fall in love so suddenly, and we buy that this is a profound connection. So on one level, the lyrics to Shallow are about Ally and Jack's relationship. They dive headfirst into love. The very first night they meet, they skip the small talk and the games, falling immediately into a natural connection and comfort with each other.
That's when I came into the picture.
Okay, the son of an 18-year-old.
Oh, she died at childbirth.
And the song comes out of this night together. Shallow begins as just a few lines that Ally puts together, inspired by feelings Jack brings out in her.
Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more?
And the next time she sees him, he's polished the song with an arrangement inspired by his feelings for her.
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world?
This duet in front of a packed stadium of fans delivers the emotional ecstasy that, in most movies, is reserved for the love scene. As Nate Jones wrote for Vulture, quote, "They have sex later, but the movie doesn't linger on it. Singing together on stage is the real consummation." The final creation of I'll Never Love Again reverses the songwriting process of Shallow, signaling how these two have traded places. This time the song begins as Jack's scribblings.
I started putting it down to paper when we were at home. I don't know, it just sort of fell out of me, I guess, and onto this page.
And it's Ally who completes the arrangement.
I only heard it in my mind for so many weeks, so it's good to hear it and, you know.
The words are beautiful.
In the real thing.
In the final scene, Ally's performance smash cuts to a flashback of Jack singing it for her. So like Shallow, this song is presented as a duet, even though they're separated in time. I'll Never Love Again expresses that this couple's love has become immortal through their music. Even death can't really part them.
I'll never love again.
A Star is Born is a movie that's not ashamed to be emotional, and in today's world, that's exceedingly rare. This isn't a film to be watched or listened to, but to be felt. So if great art means having something to say and the power to say it in a way that gets through to audiences, A Star is Born achieves both through its performances, direction, and most of all, its heart. After it's over, we might feel inspired to bring a more courageous honesty into our own work and lives. We have to push ourselves to go deeper, far from the shallow now.
Hi guys, Susanna and Deborah here. If you like what we do and you want to help us grow, one of the best things you can do is support us on Patreon.
We make special polls for our patrons where you can vote for a video you want us to make.
And right now we're giving away 3 free months of Mubi, a really fantastic movie streaming service.
Love Mubi.
We're such fans.
Awesome.
And we're giving that away to a limited number of patrons, so be one of the first to go check it out.
The link is right here.